Hi everyone, welcome back to Brook Valley Life and Brook Valley Archery. Today could be controversial, maybe, may not. What I have here is not the Hoyt Exceed, but the Junxing or TBOW H7 copy of the Hoyt Exceed. But I suppose you could look at it in a good way, and they're not selling it as a Hoyt Exceed, as a fake. It is just a copy. Some people will still think that that is a step too far. Some people will say, well, I don't have the money to buy a Hoyt Exceed, but I want to shoot a bow like it. And today we will see, and my other videos where I've reviewed these, you will see if they're any good. So let's go and have a bit of a more in-depth look on the table before we take it outside and shoot it. And yes, I'm a little bit damp because I have been shooting. First time shooting in 2 weeks because I cricked my neck building the chicken run. Bigger chicken run. So let's go and have a look. Here we have the TBOW H7, and yes, I have two of them. But even though I've got two of them, they are slightly different. So let's have a look at the original TBOW H7. And if you look at this, you would think, hang on a minute, I have got myself a Hoyt Exceed. What are they giving? Don't worry about that. It's just my stuff getting rusty over time. What has it got on it? Well, you've got a good grip. You've got twin burger holes, so you can put on a wraparound rest as well as a button. Limb pockets with push-pull. Come on the back. There's nothing at the top, but there is a spot for some weights below. Again, nothing on the bottom there. And if you look on the other one, exactly the same. The grip is a rubberized plastic, I would guess, and I love this grip. It is fantastic. The plate or the front, let's have a quick look at the front. We've got a bushing hole for the stabilizer, long rod, one for a damper there and one for a damper there. And yes, it does say Bow of Champions, which is a bit of a copy. The clicker plate is the type of clicker plate I like, with some markings on it so you can actually set up where your clicker goes, and you can see I put it on there. And now we're going to come to the main differences between these two bows. And yes, they're both TBOW H7. The limb pockets, and hopefully you can see straight away. This one here has the Hoyt hybrid system. For I believe what it's for is how your string comes through the clicker, or how it feels the bow coming through the clicker. Now these will move up and down, and you can go from comfort to performance. I believe that's what they do. However, the newer one, just there, you'll notice they're not in anymore. So they only put it in the really original ones, and I was lucky enough to purchase one when they first came out. I think I was one of the first people to actually do a review on these things. Did it go unnoticed? Possibly a little bit, because I'm not Jake Kaminsky and I'm not Stephen Han. However, go back, have a look, see what I think of it. I think it's a bloody good riser. Yes, it is a knockoff, but they're not calling it exactly a Hoyt riser. They're calling it their own riser, but it's exactly the same shape. So yes, it's a knockoff, but they're not going too bad. If we follow it up, you'll notice it's quite flat there. We come to this one, and it is quite flat there. But as we come up to the next bit, quite rounded, as you can see in the light, not so rounded on this one. So there is slight differences with machining. In fact, the original, I would say, is worse than this one, because it could have been like a prototype or that type of thing, and they were just trying them out and selling them. But definitely the finish on the newer one, without the limb pocket adjustment there, they still go side to side, still works perfectly, but this finish on here is slightly less good as the one on this side. This is perfect, but you'll notice, hopefully in the light, yeah, you can actually see there is some differences just there. You can see a little raised bit here. It's perfect. Going up, perfect. Oops a daisy. And there you can see some marks as well, marks from machining. Yeah, so there are some slight differences. I think one is like a prototype when they were first doing them, then they got into doing them correctly, and there we go. So let's put this together, take it outside, see how it shoots. Well, I know how it shoots, but see how it works in our ILF comparison videos. Let's go. So here we are outside, beautiful day. We're in autumn now. I've just taken off my jumper. We'll just wait for the car to go past. So yeah, here we have it, a TBOW H7. Now there's been a lot of discussion from certain other YouTubers about the knockoffs, copies, say what you will, they are. But I bought this and I did a review on it well before any of the others even heard about it, which good for me. Is there a place for it? I've got to say yes, but should they actually copy it? At least they're not saying it is a Hoyt Exceed. They're calling it their own thing. But yeah, here it is set up in our testing situation, N3 limbs, everything else the same as everything else. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, first of all, do all the checks. So we've just put the string on. So this string was set for the which one was it? The Nika ET12 Proceed. And we've seen how geometry of the bow can change the brace height, tiller, and also where our knocking point is. So, go away. Let's first check the brace height. And our brace height on this bow is 24 centimeters or 9.5, I believe it is. Spot on, 9.5 inches. So the brace height, good. Next, top tiller, 21 mil. Bottom tiller, 21. So it's very, very neutral. That is spot on 8 inches, top and bottom. So there's no positive, no negative tiller. This is just neutral. Both are the same. So they are all of the dimensions we always look at. And now the next one is going to be draw weight. So this bow, again, as all the others, set in center position. So what we'll do, and I've set the draw length as well. 0, it's in grams. Again, I will change it for those of you who want it in pounds. I'll do 3. First one, 12.78. Reset. $12.6. Reset. And this is, when I say 12 point, that's 12 kilograms. $12.86. So we had 12.86, 12.86 and 12.6. So we'll take 12.7. Around there anyway. So double that, which will be 24. That's nearly 13, so that'll be 26. 28, around 28 and a half. I'm not even going to bother. So that's what we've got. So what we're going to do next is take 3 arrows, see how fast this riser, as it is with these limbs, put it through the chronograph. Let's go and have a look. So that sun is beautiful today. So we're all set up. In fact, I've got 3 cameras running at the moment, so we'll see how this goes. So our first arrow. And I haven't shot in 2 weeks because I cricked my neck building the chicken run. So 158. 155. $67, $61. I don't think that's right. Let's try another one. $156. That's better. So high 150s, which is what I expected. Pretty good. So now let's take this back to 18 meters. Hopefully we can get 18 meters and see how this shoots and how it feels compared to the other risers we've already done. So we're back here at 18 meters. In fact, we may be a fraction over, but this is where I do all my shooting from. My wife has had some bark and some mulch delivered, so I've had to move around that, but let's just check. 18.5, perfect. Using my Sigmund CT800Y budget rangefinder. If you want one that's pretty good, that'll do slope, will do speed, and you can turn it on and off, so you can use it for you golfers out there as well. Can't go wrong with the price. Great bit of kit. So here we have our TBOW or Junxing H7. It's an exact copy. This one is the exact copy of the Hoyt Exceed. It looks the same, and even in the limb pockets, this was one of the first versions that came out that I purchased myself. It has the adjustable system for smooth, I can't remember what they are, smooth, performance, and mid one as well. So you can actually move something in here that will make it feel different to go through the clicker. I have it on the smooth setting because that's how I like my clicker. Plus I've got these N3 limbs, which are really good. So what we'll do is we'll stick a couple of arrows down there. Now I've not shot an arrow yet. I'm going for the middle target, the middle feeder target, not the field one, and we'll see how this goes. Now these arrows always shoot a little bit stiff, but first things first, I know it's supposed to be a copy, but the riser itself looks fantastic. The grip is wonderful. It's one of the best grips I've ever used. I would say it's up there with the new Nika grips that they've got. Better than the older Hoyt grips. And the other good thing with this one is you can buy the Archery handle for the Exceed and it'll fit. Now the newer TBOW H7s, they don't have that limb pocket adjustment for the smoother through the clicker or performance. This one does, so there is a slight difference between them. I've got both of them as well, but this was the first one. So fingers crossed it hits the target. And it's going right. Now, is that weak or is that stiff? I think that's weak. I'd have to check again. I always get those mixed up. But it hit the target. Now I am trying something different with my shot. Before I was doing a lot of this, and this was sticking out, so I'm trying to bring that back straight and coming back. So if you see something different in my shot, that's what it is, and I'm still doing it. As I said, I've been off for 2 weeks because I cricked my neck doing the new chicken run. It's the first time shooting. Now they could be going that way because of the way I'm actually shooting now. and my sight could be in the wrong position, but I've not moved anything. The bow itself, again, it's one of these that feels well made. It doesn't feel cheap. It's solid. When it shoots, there is a bit of vibration. However, it's the low hum. As I said, if you put dampers, all those type of things, that would go. A really good set of stabilizers with some good dampers would get rid of that as well. But this is quite good. There is something we've not done yet. I will do it and I'll put it back in later. So I'll shoot all the arrows that are fletched and then I'll give you a conclusion. Does feel good though. Sits in the hand beautifully. In a good tune setup, which I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to put my big limbs in this, my heavy limbs. This would be an excellent bow. As I said, there's everything you need on here. It's got the positions for weights at the back. You've got extra damper positions. And I'm not sure if the Hoyt Exceed actual weight for these will actually fit. It might do. And I love the clicker plate. It's just like the Vertitune, but yeah, you can tell these arrows aren't tuned because they're coming out a bit funny. Just a center shot, but they're still flying true and straight, which is good to see. As in, they're going straight. That was a bad shot on me, but yeah, overall pretty good. Let's go down the other end, see where the arrows went, and I'll give you my final judgment on it. So here are the arrows. For an untuned bow with untuned arrows and wrong spine, apart from this last one, which I knew was bad, that's not a bad group. They would all, if they were in centered on the target, they would all hit the target, and these are 40 centimeter targets. They're all sitting in straight. So the TBOW H7, I think, if you're somebody who wants a decent riser that can't pay as much as the Hoyts are, yes, it's not branded as a Hoyt, because that is some things I have seen is where some knockoffs are actually branded the same as the original. At least these aren't. They're branded differently. That's the only good thing about it. But I know Jake had an issue with limb bolts, but again, he said that they were the right size. I find that very hard to believe, because both myself, a number of people who have bought these after I reviewed them and said they're brilliant and they save so much money. Yeah, they're a good bow. Is it taking money away from Hoyt? I suppose it would be, but then again, it may not be, because the reason I say that, the people who buy this wouldn't be able to afford the Hoyt in the first place. They would have gone down a different route. Now, is that just a cop-out? Maybe, but it's something to think about. And if they find this good, they may then save up and buy the actual Hoyt riser. So the TBOW H7, solid riser, it's got everything on there that you want. As I said, the newer ones don't have that hybrid system in the pocket to make pulling through the clicker smoother or more performance. This one does, because it's one of the first ones they had, and this is when they were copying it exactly one for one. Good clicker plate, as I said, plenty of places for adjustment and for adding stabilizers, dampers and stuff like that. All ILF limbs will fit in. I've tried my Nika ones, I've tried Hoyt ones, I've tried Uka, I've tried some cheap Win and Win ones as well, and they all fit perfectly, so there's no issue there. And I've got and as I said, these was set up so the geometry is pretty good compared to some of the others. A bit different to the other older Hoyts that I've been testing. So all in all, I think it's a bloody good riser. Sorry for those who like the American, like to buy American. Yeah, when you're in other parts of the world and you can't afford a Hoyt, a Win and Win, a Fivix, MK, you're going to go for something a bit cheaper. You either go for the Chinese brands that are building their own stuff like Nika, or you're going to go for the knockoffs like these Junxing ones, and it's a decent riser. Put it with a good set of limbs and you've got a very good bow. So it might be a bit controversial, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the like, subscribe. We've got a couple more riser videos coming up. Yeah, it's fun doing them, but I'm coming to the end of my supply of risers, so after that we may stop. We may see if we can get some different ones as well. I will catch you next time. Keep shooting. Bye bye for now.